And Mike, we are live. Go with the longest intro in the history of the world.
No, Mike, if you go away, we lose the intro.
Don't tell me that. I know how to make this intro the shortest intro in the world.
You could be having a life on a Friday night. Instead, you're here with us now. Friday Night AMA with your host, Showtime George. Showtime George.
Welcome, everybody, to the Sleeper Wire Friday Night AMA. I am ecstatic to be here, or ecstatic to be here, or some other big word I really can't pronounce, but I wanted to use to try to come off as being smart and just completely failed. Sorry, I fail at the English language quite often. Anyway, I am your host, George. With me, as always, is my boy Jason. He's up there on the left. We got Mike with us doing Mike things behind the scenes. We also have two very special guests with us tonight. First, on the bottom left hand, we have Neal Maligno. He is the owner, creator of Clock Dodgers. You can follow him on Twitter at Clock Dodgers. You can look at his website at clockdodgers.com. Anything Clock Dodgers will get you Mr. Neal Maligno. And below that, we have Mr. Mark Schofield. I would go into all of Mark's accolades, but this is only a 1 hour show. And that's all I would be doing for the next hour. So, gentlemen, let me start with Neal. Neal, how are you doing this evening?
Doing good, man. Doing good. I'm happy to be here. I appreciate the invite, as always, to anything you're doing that you invite me to. So I appreciate it, man. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. We are super excited to have you here. And Mark, same to you, sir. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing well, George. Pleasure to be here. Happy to join all of you fine gentlemen on this lovely evening.
So this is our third time, I believe, having Mark on in this calendar year. Now, I checked the Sleeper Wire bylaws. If we have him on 5 times in one calendar year, he's an official employee. So, Mark, you're almost getting a check from us at this point.
I'm almost getting a check. I was wondering if you're going to go like the SNL route and like get me into the 5-time hosted room, like the special little lounge with a velvet jacket or something. But I'll take a job too. That's good.
I figured you would appreciate the money more so than the special green room.
Yeah, exactly. I don't need a velvet jacket.
I feel like I'm missing a check or two.
You're on the payroll, Jason. You're making. Matter of fact, we're going to double your pay. How's that?
Well, I mean, 00 is fine, I guess. I'll take it. I'll take it. Listen, I should pay Sleeper Wire for getting to interview guys like Neal and Mark every week. So it's pretty cool for me to be able to do this. It's been a long time since I've looked at Neal's beautiful face, so I'm happy to see him. He's repping his gear. I do have a small. I told him before the show I've got a small surprise. I'm gonna go ahead and do it real quick, just because I clowned him so hard when he made these, but I still have one. So I am going to point out that I am wearing my I am a Clock Dodger bracelet because I knew Neal was coming on. It's a podcast. I made fun of the podcast bracelet, but my son had it on earlier yesterday, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to make sure I remember where he puts this thing so I can wear it on Friday night for the AMA.
Hey, kids love the bracelets, man.
They really do.
You gotta tap into the youth, man. You gotta tap into the youth audience.
He has no idea what a Clock Dodger is, but he loves the bracelet one way or the other. So it's pretty cool.
So why don't we do this? We'll start with Mark. Let's get him in here a little bit. Mark, why don't you tell the people watching a little bit about your background, if they're not familiar with you, with your work and what you do and whatnot.
Let's see. I started doing this like 6 years ago, believe it or not. I was a lawyer here in the DC area, and I was a very bad lawyer. And I just could not do that anymore. And I realized that there was something I was actually good at. I was talking about quarterbacks because I was surprisingly, or perhaps unsurprisingly, a very bad quarterback in college. And I actually shared my college statistics today on a different show I was on, and I'm not going to bring them up here unless I actually start, having an adult beverage or two, because they're pretty embarrassing. So I started writing like 6 years ago. Now I write for a bunch of different places, USA Today, Matt Waldman's RSP, a couple of different SB Nation websites. Like I said, I focus mainly on quarterbacks, but I'll pretty much talk just anything about football.
Awesome. And Neal, why don't you tell the people, if they're not familiar with you, a little bit about your background, how you got into podcasting, fantasy football, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I'm not as decorated as Mark, that's for sure. I don't have all the fancy titles. I've never been a lawyer or anything special like that. I just have a podcast called Dodgers Podcast. We do it every single week. We've been doing it for almost 5 years now. So Cloud Dodgers Podcast, and that's basically it, man. Twitter, the website, all that kind of stuff. But it's fantasy football mixed in with pop culture and all that good stuff. And so we love doing it. We just continue to grow it and expand it as we can.
Neal, can you move the mic a little closer to your mouth there? They're telling me you're coming in quiet.
All right, I got you.
And I know it's a new setup, so.
Yeah, trying to do this.
I do have to say, man, like way back in the day, Neal was the reason George and I got into podcasting. So to the rest of the world, Neal, sorry. But we saw we saw Neal doing it. And we're like, man, if he can do it, anyone can do it, and that just hasn't turned out to be true. But we're doing it anyway. So we owe Neal a lot. It's nice. I did say earlier, it's nice to see Neal. I mean, listen, it's nice to see Mark, but we've seen Mark much more recently than we've seen Neal. I mean, he is an unofficial fifth Beatle, I guess. Is that what we're doing?
I mean, like I said, 2 more times we get him on, he gets a check. It's in the bylaws.
Fantastic, love it.
All right, so. George, go ahead.
We do get a comment here from Bob. I'm so excited that I don't want to show it. And this is kind of true. Like, I'm super excited about the show. I've been looking forward to it for a while. But the reason why I'm not showing my beautiful face right now is my wife is in the shower, and she'll be coming out here anytime now. And out of respect for her, I just figured, let's not have the camera going, okay? Like, let's just have the little teddy bear, the little BFTG charities. And once, she exits the bedroom, I'll, grace you guys with my beautiful face.
I've got to ask you, George.
Yes.
Did your wife know the show started at 9?
She did.
She did.
Of course.
She wants to be on camera.
Jason, I do this in the bedroom, and all of us are married. And listen, if your wife comes, if you're doing a show from the bedroom and the wife says, I'm coming in to take a shower, who here is telling her no? Because I'm not.
I mean, if your wife came in and told me she was taking a shower, I'd tell her no. No, so I think I would probably just, she wants to be on camera. She knew the camera was going to be on, right?
Well, Jason saying that, I mean.
She knew it was going to be on.
No, I don't think that's it, Jason. I honestly don't think that's it at all.
Hey, listen, looking at the comment on screen, they were right. It just wasn't you.
Yeah.
This is true. I just got hit by my wife. I want to thank you guys.
Oh, is she out of the shower now?
Mark, I might need your services. I know you said you're a horrible lawyer, but I might need them.
You need a better lawyer than me right now, my friend. Trust me.
He can't afford a better lawyer. He might need you.
This is an AMA. I told you guys both previous for this. Like, we're going to try to go through a whole show here without any fantasy football questions. And I typed up a few questions that I figured I would start us off with. Clearly, 2020 has just been an amazing year. It's like the best year of all years, right? Like, we all are just thrilled with the way 2020 has gone so far. Am I wrong? Right? Wrong?
Absolutely.
Yes? No?
Absolutely. Yeah. Love it.
So, Neal, I'll start this one with you. What are some positives from 2020? Like, what's something you're taking away from 2020 that you would say, hey, in a shit year like 2020, this is actually a positive?
Yeah. I mean, I would say spending time with your family has been good as long as you like your family. So, spending time with your kids, your wife, your husband, whatever it is, you obviously have had plenty of time to do that. A lot of people whose jobs have gone remote because of this, and they've always wanted to work from home, and now jobs are like, hey, I guess we could do this. That's a positive, right? I'm trying to reach here because there's not really a ton. I'm trying to find something positive out of it. That's it. I mean, I guess, some people like this lifestyle. They've already been into this lifestyle. So, they've been able to double down on what they like to do and not be judged for it. So there's some positives out there, but it's hard to find them right now on top of my head.
Mark, how about you? You got any positive takeaways from 2020?
I mean, we're all still here, so I mean, I guess there's that.
That is a positive.
I mean, it's a positive. We actually did this when we, my wife and our 2 kids at Thanksgiving dinner with the 4 of us. We went around the table and said something we were thankful for in 2020, and my wife and I both said getting to spend more time with the entire family because she's working from home. The kids are virtual schooled right now. I always get to work from home, so that was nice. I said something similar. Our daughter said the 2 cats that we adopted, she was thankful for them, which was great. And then our son, who's 9, said he was thankful for making origami because he likes to make origami. So I guess those are some positives in 2020. Our son learned to make origami, so I guess that's good.
Underrated origami.
Underrated, yeah. He's making little swans and dragons and stuff. So, cool. But they're everywhere. Our living room right now, it's just it's like a ball pit of origami. You're waded through it to get to the kitchen, which is great.
Jason, how about you? You got any positive takeaways from 2020?
I learned 2nd grade math all over again. I'm teaching my son math. I'm responsible strictly for math and some of science. So I've my pluses and minuses. I've learned multiple new ways to add and subtract. So that's kind of cool. Unlike a lot of people, I'm thankful I still have a job that's paying me, what it pays me and keeps me in this luxury you see behind me here. But at least I have a job I can go to every day. I haven't had a day without work. I haven't had a week without pay, which is not something a lot of people can say. So I think that's probably the biggest one where, you go through this and you see the people that are struggling, and the thing that you take away, if you still have a job and if you're still not struggling, you owe it to, I think you probably owe it to everybody to try and help. So I've also seen, I can say through fantasy football, I've seen a lot of charity, and this year of all years is when people need it the most. So I'm thankful for the charity I've seen through this hobby we all have, the jobs we do and the hobbies we do here. So that all of that in 2020.
So one thing I'm thankful for, and one thing I'm happy about, is virtual doctor's appointments. I don't know why we haven't had this before, but I will forever thank 2020 for this. I had a doctor's appointment yesterday, and we ended up having to do it virtual. And instead of going to the doctor's office, sitting around a whole bunch of sick people for 20, 30 minutes before I finally get called to the back, then I got sitting back in this fucking room by myself for another 45 minutes before the doctor comes in. I got to sit in my living room, and exactly at the time the doctor was supposed to Skype call me or to do the virtual consult, she called. I was done in 8 minutes and didn't have to leave the comfort of my reclining chair. So that is something I'm extremely thankful for, and I hope that is definitely something that we keep going forward, because I will take that over having to go to the doctor's office any day of the week.
Take home margaritas. I completely forgot about that shit.
That is a good one too. That is a very good one.
Why was that not legal before? But when the lockdown first started, the one thing I noticed is that every Mexican place had you could get 4 gallons of take home margarita for $20. And it's I'm just, I did increase my drinking just a little bit, but that was kind of cool, being able to take home mixed drinks.
Yeah, I think increasing your drinking in 2020, even if it's just slightly, is widely acceptable. I don't think anybody on this panel disagree with that.
Absolutely not. I think Dr. Fauci said it's okay. If you've been drinking more, that's fine.
Yeah. So, don't worry about your liver. We can take care of the liver in a year or 2. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
So let me pull up another question that I had here. This one is kind of deep. If you could talk to yourself at the age of 20, what advice would you give your 20-year-old self? Mark, I'll start with you on this one.
Man,
Mark was hoping I started with Neal again.
yeah, I was hoping to duck that one early. I mean, there's a part of me that would say don't go to law school because you're not going to be a lawyer. But I met my wife there, and I'm not going to do that. So I'm still going through the law school thing. I think the one thing that I would tell myself is seek help earlier than you do. Because I've been very open with my struggles and with anxiety, with depression, mental health issues. It's part of the reason I stopped being a lawyer. And I put off for years seeking help, getting professional help, going to counsel and medication and all that stuff. And I almost paid the price for it. If I didn't get out of being a lawyer, if I didn't get the help I did, I don't know if I'd be here right now. I kid you not. And so I would go back and tell myself, look, don't be ashamed. Don't be embarrassed. Seek help earlier in your life because it's not worth putting yourself through what you're going to put yourself through.
Well, let me be the first to say, I am glad that you are still here. I know Jason has dealt with tragic loss, and I'm assuming, and correct me if I'm wrong, please, Mark. Jason has dealt with suicide in his family before. I've recently, and I really haven't said this much publicly, but within the last month and a half, or maybe it's 2 months now, recently lost a nephew to suicide. So,
Sorry.
No, it's like, it is what it is. I hate to say that, but I mean, nothing I could say or anybody can say is going to bring it back. So you just deal with it. Right. But yeah, no, definitely glad that you did get the help that you need. I've dealt with mental health issues, PTSD from my time in the military. Jason's deal with it. So anytime anybody brings that up, like it's something most people have dealt with. Neal, I don't know. Have you ever dealt with anything like that?
I mean,
or do you want to get into it?
I've never dealt with like suicidal thoughts or anything, but I mean, we've all had mental health, in some capacity, issues, depression, anxiety, just, whatever it is. I think we've all reached that point at some point or another. You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely. And people around me. So yeah, for sure.
Okay. Yeah. I want to give a quick shout out to, okay. Sorry, I heard an echo. I want to give a quick shout out to the guys at the FF Face Off. They're going to be doing their podathon again this year for the Hayden Hurst Foundation. Yeah. Jason and I have been talking with them behind the scenes. I've already told them, we told them last year, but I reiterated it a couple times throughout the year that anything they need from us to help, absolutely honored to help out. Mark, I know you jumped on that last year. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it again this year. And I've told them anything that they can do to help, we're absolutely more than happy to help. So if you're watching, follow those guys on Twitter. And if you can help, donate. If you don't know about Hayden Hurst and his story, like it's kind of a big thing right now on Twitter. He posted a 2-part tweet about it the other day, and it goes in pretty deep. So, I mean, it's a reminder that these football guys, they're football players, but they're people too, and they all have their own issues that they have to deal with, away from just the stuff they deal with on the field. Like they're humans as well.
Right.
So Neal, now that we're deep in the woods here, what advice would you give your 20-year-old self?
I think the biggest thing would just be to like tell myself to pursue what I love, like regardless of anything else, regardless of, what others think, regardless of what people want you to do, like just chase what you love. I mean, I'm 34, which I know to some people that's old, to some people it's not that
such
old,
a baby.
But like, but still in theory, I still feel like I wasted a lot of time, like doing things that I didn't like or that I didn't care about. And I was just doing it for money or doing it to pay bills. Like, so I would say like, hey man, if you can get on a path and just chase whatever you want from the second you have the opportunity to do that, to do it. So whether it is college or like Mark said, maybe it's not law school, maybe it's something else, like just go after what you love. Don't do anything. Don't waste a second doing something that you don't care about, that doesn't matter to you, that's not making an impact, like whatever it is. Cause I feel like I did waste a lot of time just having jobs and things to do and staying busy and making paychecks. And so I would say to my 20-year-old self, yeah, man, like go do something you fucking like instead of, what they're telling you to do. You know what I mean? So That would be the biggest thing. So not as deep as Mark here, but along the same lines, it probably would affect your mental health
Yeah,
too.
it
So, you know what I
would.
mean? So yeah, definitely just do what the fuck you love, man. Like nothing else matters.
How about you, Jason? You got anything you'd tell your 20-year-old self?
Don't take stuff for granted, right? I mean, it goes back to the mental health thing too. Like, don't take for granted that your family's going to be there tomorrow. Try and make up if you have disagreements or arguments. My brother would be 42 on Monday if we didn't lose him like 8 years ago. So don't hold grudges, that kind of thing. But also for me, I would have gone back and told myself to not screw around the first time I went to school. And listen, it was just community college the first time around, but I went to community college and failed out of it, and then just went and worked at a grocery store, right? And had to go back a decade later. And it's much harder when you have a kid and you're working 50, 60 hours and you're trying to find a different path because you know your job's getting ready to go away. So I think I'd probably go back and tell myself to be much more serious at 20 than I was, just so my 30s could be a lot easier. I think that's the big one.
Yeah, Neal's just hitting his 30s. He's the baby on the show.
I don't feel like it, but
Well, they say
something about pain management too. Just like telling myself, like, when you get to like 35, 40, you're just moving hurts. Just like getting up out of bed hurts. So like try and take it a little easier on yourself physically.
this is what you get to look forward to, Neal. The I don't know why this hurts age.
listen,
No.
I'm already at the point where when I sneeze, it hurts. I'm like, what the hell's
My,
happening?
my favorite is the like muscle ache or heart attack. Because I mean, look, I'm 43, and so far I'm undefeated in that game.
Spin the
But
wheel.
that first L is coming, friends, and it's a big one. So I'm dreading that one.
How about
It's like-
this?
Go ahead,
Go ahead,
Jason.
Dick.
No,
Oh,
go
so
ahead,
how about
Jason.
this? Have you had this? Have you had the you wake up and like, what the hell's wrong with my knee? And you walk around all day, and all of a sudden, now I have to go to the goddamn doctor. My knee is hurting. And the morning of the doctor, your knee's fine again. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
you got to make the decision. Like, if I cancel this appointment that took me 2 weeks to get, and then I wake up tomorrow morning and it's in pain again, I'm gonna be real pissed. But I don't really want to go to the doctor.
See, I want to get from my orthopedic surgeon one of those like 10 visits, you get a free one kind of cards. Because like I'm in there all the time. Like I got knees that got to get fixed. I got back issues. I got 2 shoulders that got to get fixed. Like at some point, I got to get something for this, right? Like, come on. I'm basically paid for your second home here. Like, give me a little something on the back end, please.
I'm paying for your vacation this year.
Right,
Like,
right.
you know,
Like,
give me something on the house, would you?
Right. I know where your beach house is in Rehoboth. Okay. Can I at least get something on the back end?
I thought it was funny when you said the heart attack, or is it just like a chest pain or indigestion? I went through that the other day. Like my chest was hurting, and my wife's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Oh, my chest is hurting." And my wife was a nurse, and she's like, "Which side is it on?" I'm like, "It's in the middle." She goes, "No, it's one or the other." I'm like, "No, it's in the middle." She's
It's
like,
literally-
"Is it gas?" I'm like, I'm not sure. Like, I don't know what's going on here. Give me a few minutes.
You know, the new one is especially if you're asthmatic, it's like, am I having a COVID attack or is this just
Right.
asthma? Like
Yeah.
it's like I can't breathe right now. Do I have COVID or should I just go get my inhaler?
Mhm.
So I got a question. Am I the only one who wants to see Neal in a mask right now? Because he was just messing with that big old beard and getting it all nice. Like I just want to see the beard behind the mask with the beard sticking out.
There's no mask.
I
It's all legit.
Do you get mask beard? Is that a thing?
I don't know.
You don't wear masks?
No masks.
He just doesn't leave the house.
I just don't leave. I'm fully 100% remote.
All right, here's a good one I got for that I put down. And all of us have kids here, so I think I know where this one will go, but I'm gonna go with it anyway. Would you rather have 3 kids and no money, or no kids and $3 million? Jason, I'll go to you. I'll go to you here first.
I mean, I don't want 3 kids. I got 2. I'm happy with that. So if I gotta choose between 3 kids and 3 million, I'm taking the 3 million.
Neal, how about you?
I mean, I think I got to go with the 3 kids.
How many kids you got now, Neal?
3.
Oh, okay. So it lines up for you. I'm safe.
It doesn't mean it doesn't have to mean I enjoy it, but I have 3 though. No, I'm just kidding. No. No, I had 3 kids. I had 3 kids, and I'm happy. And yeah, I'll take it over the 3 million. Yeah, and off air, I'll tell you different something else.
Mark, how about you, sir?
Yeah, I was
3
Jason.
kids.
See, I get 2, and we're happy playing like man to man right now. But like we get 3, you got to play zone. Like that's not going to work. So I'll stick with the 2. I'm fine with that. So like, yeah, I'll take the 3 million. But yeah, I can't do 3. I'm too old for that.
Yeah, right.
I'm actually I'm surprised with the responses. I figured everybody would do the right thing and say take the kids, but kind of surprised.
Can they take the 2 kids and just 1 million?
Right.
There you go.
There
That's
you
the
go.
idea right there.
Well,
See,
because
he
you
should
have
be
3
the
kids,
lawyer.
Neal, you don't qualify.
Well, that's okay, but Neal should be the lawyer. He's figuring this shit out for us.
Seriously. See, that's why I was a bad lawyer. Not good.
All right, we're gonna throw this one to Neal first, and he knows the answers to everything.
What?
Would you rather have free Wi-Fi wherever you go, or have free coffee wherever, whenever you want?
That's definitely Wi-Fi. I don't drink coffee.
I knew you didn't drink coffee. I
He's
knew your
coffee
answer on that.
ever.
He's a Mormon, remember? They don't do that.
I've never had coffee a day in my life. I think I took 1 sip when I was younger. It tasted disgusting to me, and so I was like, all right, I'm out on this one. And yeah, so definitely take the Wi-Fi, man, all day long. No question.
I agree with Bob here. Mike would probably take the money.
And he's got a 1 month old.
Yeah, at 1 month old, you're telling me $1 million? Yeah, I'll take the money.
$15, sure. Yeah, I'll take it.
I don't know him good enough yet. So,
Mark, how about you? Wi-Fi wherever you're at, or unlimited free coffee wherever, whenever?
Yeah, I'm with Neal. I'm not a huge coffee drinker. So I'll take the free Wi-Fi. I'm always on my phone anyway. I'm always like scrolling through Twitter and putting out Scrubs gifts. So yeah, I'll take the free Wi-Fi anywhere.
And Jason, I assume you're going Wi-Fi too, because I know you don't drink coffee, right?
No, I like coffee. I drink
Oh, do
coffee.
you?
I'll drink coffee all the time, but
Wow, I learned something new today.
but I will say, coffee is no match for Wi-Fi. Like if you can give me free good Wi-Fi wherever I go, I never have to sit and wait for that screen to load. Hell yeah, I'm taking free Wi-Fi.
All right, we're gonna get to Clayton's fantasy football question here real quick. Sorry for the long question, but I'm lost on what to do with these Saints. PPR need 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a flex. Kamara, Sanders, Mostert, Devontae Booker. Who are you guys starting there?
I mean, I'm doing Sanders and Kamara.
Yeah, I think that's probably safest.
I agree. Neal?
yeah, no, I mean, I agree. It is the safest. But what, I don't understand. He needs 2 of. Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah,
Two
so we're going to do
receivers.
wide receivers next.
Yeah,
Okay.
so next would be the 2 wide receivers. Keenan Allen, Michael Thomas, A.J. Brown, and I'm assuming Allen Robinson. This team's stacked, by the way. I just want to say.
These aren't bad options. I'd say the wide receivers, Keenan and AJ.
For sure.
I mean, I don't think you could trust, the Saints QB situation right now, and you certainly can't trust the Chicago Bears quarterback situation. So,
no, although it is better for Allen Robinson with Trugotsky back there,
Yeah.
than it was with Foles.
right, but it's a slided scale of better.
Yep. Okay, now he needs a flex. So flex Mostert, Booker, Michael Thomas, or Allen Robinson. I feel like Allen Robinson would be my answer here.
Me too.
Yeah, probably.
I can't believe we're benching Michael Thomas. It is a
it sounds
weird
so
year.
crazy, right? It sounds so crazy. Everyone's like, yeah, Michael Thomas who? I would say if Josh Jacobs doesn't play Josh Jacobs, I would play Booker.
He's already ruled out.
Oh, he's already rolled out? Okay, so if it's a fact, yeah, I'd play Booker. I'd play Booker over Mostert. Yeah.
I will say Neal is a Raiders fan. He is the
Hey.
Raider homer.
I would do it.
He knows.
Okay,
I know
so Clayton, I do agree with Bob, and I'll pull his comment up next. But we decided you should go Kamara, Sanders, Keenan, AJ Brown, and Allen Robinson. And as Bob correctly noted, this is not a real fantasy show. We try not to talk fantasy here, but the way you worded it, you really lost what to do. We'll help you out a little bit here.
That team's a lot of good problems to have.
Yeah.
Right? Like I almost feel like you were bragging.
Do Booker, man.
I have all these round 1, 2, and 3 picks, and I don't know who to start. Can you help me, please? I got one more here. Would you rather know how you will die or when you're going to die? Mark, I'm going to throw that one to you first.
Oh, that's hard. I think I'd rather know when, just so I could probably, and this is again as somebody that's already made the turn onto the back nine of life here, probably. Give me some time to sort of set things in motion for those around me. Knowing how, I feel like that would give me, if you tell me that, okay, you're going to die in a car accident, I will then try to never get in a car ever again. I feel like I'll just try to avoid it. And so, I'd rather just know when. That would give me time to plan. Now, if you tell me it's tomorrow, well, okay, but I guess I'll deal with it then. But yeah, I'd rather know when.
All right. How about you, Neal?
Yeah, I'm going to go with when too. I mean, if we know how, it's not avoidable, right? We can't say, oh, now that I know how, I can avoid this, right? That's not an option here. So yeah, I would say when. I don't know. No, for some reason, knowing when is less depressing than knowing how sometimes.
Yeah. Especially if it's embarrassing. You're going to slip on the shower and break your neck. Oh,
yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Thanks. Now I get that to look forward to every time I walk into the shower in the morning. It's is this the day?
Yeah, at least for sure the day gives you certainty. You know what's happening. It's all right, I'm ready for this. I've been planning for this for a long time. I'm good.
I feel like that's called death row, though. I feel like if you know when you're going to die, you might as well just be on a free death row. You're free to go about your business, do what you want to do, but there's always going to be this ticking time clock in the back of your head. And I'm the type of person where I would know, okay, it's going to happen in 3 years, 28 days, 9 hours, 57 minutes. I would know to the minute at almost all times. And I don't think I would want that. I just want to know, hey, how am I going to die? Am I going to be killed by a spider? Because that's probably one of the worst ways to go. Am I going to drown? Am I going to be burnt alive? Just tell me how I'm going to go so I can cope with this for the rest of whatever my life is versus knowing, okay, you're going to die on this day, this time and whatnot. How about you, Jason? What's your thinking on this?
It's time for sure. I think you get screwed though if it's recent, soon. Right, Mark touched on it, but if you go, hey, I want to know when I'm gonna die, and they're yeah, okay,
Tuesday,
2 weeks from now, you're gonna spin that indigestion or heart attack wheel, and it's gonna be heart attack. But you don't know that it's just gonna be Tuesday. So that would suck. I've gone a couple different directions too, because you start to think, well, if I know when I'm gonna die, imagine how fun you can live your life. But it's not saying you're not going to be in a coma till the day you die either, right? You could be I'm going to live for 5, 10, 20 more years. So screw it. I'm going to dodge traffic and end up getting, your legs taken out from under you and being a paraplegic. And then that's not great. But I am taking the time. I'd like to know when I'm going to die, not how I'm going to die. Cause let's face it, I'm fat. It's going to be a heart attack. So, I'm already figuring out how to make it that. I just need to know how long from now. So it'd be cool if this was a caveat, you could add time to your clock by being healthy and stuff. So okay, I know it's 8 years from now, but okay, I'm eating a salad instead of a steak for dinner. Okay, it's 8 years and 20 minutes,
I like that.
I got distracted by my daughter. She texted me asking if she could take my car to her friend's house for right now.
No, that's the answer. Is this the next question? The answer is no.
I actually told her yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I would have said no.
No, she's working on a school project, so she's in this program at school, and they give her all types of projects that they have to do over the weekend to turn in. And they have a project that's due Monday morning that they gave her the project yesterday, and they told her, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you work on it, you got to turn it in on Monday. So her and a group of their friends are going to be working on it tomorrow, but she just wanted to know if she can go over tonight to spend the night. And I'm I don't care.
George just took the long time to explain what homework is. when he could have literally just said, "Hey, my daughter had homework she had to go do with a group." Like,
well, Jason,
So
you failed out of community college,
they-
and Mark has already admitted he was a horrible lawyer. So I felt like I had to explain this.
I mean, if we're doing this remotely, though, I feel like she could be doing it remotely.
Right.
So,
It's true. They don't have Zoom.
yeah.
George
Neal,
is
is that
using
an
up all the
invite
Wi-Fi.
to your studio? Because I'll come back down to your studio.
I'm just saying. She could be doing this remotely.
So the for those who don't know, the first time I ever did any type of podcast, it was it Veterans Day, Neal, or was it Memorial Day? It was Memorial Day, wasn't it?
I think Memorial Day.
Yeah, it was Memorial Day weekend.
He's guessing this wasn't as a big a deal to Neal as it is to George. Neal's
Well,
like,
no,
I don't remember what
it's because my family had gone down to we went down to West Palm Beach for a camp out at one of the safaris down there.
Yeah.
And Neal lives down in West Palm Beach, so I went over to his house to do a guest spot on his podcast, and it was the first ever podcast I'd ever done in my life. So, and I had never met Neal before. Like, we had talked back and forth on the Fantasy Life app a little bit, but I'd actually never met the man, never talked to him over the phone. So I wasn't sure what to expect. So when I showed up, it was me and my son, because I needed backup.
Yeah, I was like, who brought their son to the podcast? Like, what's going on right now? I was like, all right,
I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I was like, Alex, you're coming with me. And my son at the time was 14 or 15. But like, if you put him next to Neal, like, my son could probably take him. Like, it just
listen to this guy. I mean, call the HOA. I had you removed promptly, sir.
You'd have called the HOA. Yeah, I got this guy here. His car leaks oil. We need to get it out of the neighborhood right now.
Yeah, we're gonna get stains and spots.
Yeah.
We don't want that.
Yeah, for sure. I think I seen a pit bull in his car. I don't think those belong in the community. So he should go now.
That's fantastic. Oh shit! Let me get another.
Neal,
go ahead, Jason.
Is your grass nice and tight still? That HOA will get on you.
It's nice and tight. I mean, I don't cut the grass. They have someone cut it.
Oh, that's part of the HOA fees?
Yeah, it's part of the HOA.
I'm okay with that. So the greatest money I spend every month is the people that come and cut my yard for me. Like, it used to take me a long time every day, and we work a lot. So like, the greatest money I can spend monthly is not having to take care of my own yard.
Yeah, some people really get into it, man.
Dude, my dad loved taking care of the yard when he was younger. Like, I'd come home and he'd be out laying in the grass picking weeds and shit, and I'm just like, he must really just hate mom because he doesn't want to. He's not going inside.
Mark, are you a yard guy? You like going out there to take care of the yard?
I do, for the most part. The thing with our yard is we have like 15 trees in the back. It's like really wooded, and the leaves just like that's an uphill battle every single fall. Like, try to get those leaves to the curb. Like, our HOA pays for like a leaf removal company to come like twice a fall, but you got to get them all to the curb, which is like a pain in the ass. And of course, the kids will like just point and laugh as I'm like lugging around tarps and like raking in the back, and I've got like 2 different like leaf blowers, and it's a pain. But I will say, to Jason's point, there are many a Saturday morning where it's like, yeah, I'm out here, especially during these times. I don't have kids around me. I don't have anybody else around me. Like, I'm just alone, and it's me and the leaves, and I'm like okay with that this year. Like, last year was a pain. This year I'm like, oh, I get to deal with the leaves and not be around the rest of this for an hour or so.
Yeah, but you got to remember too, like the time I'm talking about, like, you're out there probably with headphones in and you're listening to podcasts.
That's true. Yeah.
But like, I'm talking about it's probably Walkman days, and my dad didn't have a Walkman. So you're like alone in your thoughts, picking weeds just is not an exciting
That's a dark place. That could be a dark place.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
I look at it more as like, Mark lives up north. So when he walks outside, he's not getting smacked in the face with Florida humidity, and he's not raking the yard or mowing the yard when it's like 105 outside.
Have you been to DC in the summer?
Yes, I have. It's hot.
I mean, especially August. Like, there's a reason. There's this old wives' tale about DC in like foreign countries would pay their diplomats that had to live in DC hazard pay during the month of August because it's like a swamp. Like, you go outside at like 6:15 in the morning and you need to take a shower, like for the month of August. So in August, it's pretty bad. The rest of the year, it's nice. Like I could go outside now in like shorts and lawn sleeves and it's nice, but August is pretty brutal. So there is that.
Well, so the other thing that you guys don't have, I know you got some heat in August, but the other thing you guys don't have is how much it rains here. So you could start mowing your grass at 7, do the front yard, the side yards, the backyard, and by 9:30 you have to do the front yard again. The grass grows so damn fast. It's bad. So like, if you don't cut it down real low, you got to do it twice a week, and that shit just takes way too long. And it's at that point it's heat stroke and not heart attack.
Right. You start seeing visions of things.
Yeah.
We got a comment here from Bob. I agree with Jason. I don't care what the landscapers charge me. I agree. So I will say when we do our yard, the only thing I'm responsible for is edging. Like I'll go out, I'll do all the edging, and then my mother-in-law loves mowing the yard. Like
really,
I don't. Yes, and I
it's
don't.
A riding mower though.
It is a riding mower. I will say that. But she had never mowed the yard before in her life. It was always my father-in-law who did it. When he passed, we moved in, and then me and my wife would take turns just mowing the yard. And I don't mind going out mowing the yard, throw my headphones on, listen to the radio or podcast or whatever, and just mowing the yard. It doesn't bother me none at all. My mother-in-law did it one time because I was stuck at work, and every time I'd come home, it was dark, so I couldn't mow the yard. So she got out there and did it during the day, and she's like, I like doing this. So now when I come home, I don't have to mow the yard because 9 times out of 10, she's already got her behind on the yard, on the mower, riding around the front yard, riding around the backyard, mowing the yard for me. And I'm like, okay, this is great. I'll do the weed whacking, no problem.
That's very cool.
Yeah. No complaints from me.
She ever ride around on that thing and forget to engage the blade? I know your mother-in-law. So. It's something I think she might do.
I mean, it's something she might do. I 100% agree. That is definitely something she might do, but the lawn has always been mowed. Okay. So I'm going to have to go with no. She hadn't forgot to engage the blade. Now she did run over at one point where we had the grass was a little high. She ran over a stump that was in the yard that she couldn't see, and it knocked the deck off alignment. So we had to go pay to get that taken care of. But no, other than that, now she's never done anything bad to it.
Yeah, I gotta say though, it is money well spent when you don't have to waste time in your own yard. Like I'll go out there and play with the kids and stuff, and that's my time in the yard. If I could figure out how to pay somebody to come do that, we might be there too, and I might end up with $3 million at some point. So
right.
So I pretty sure, Neal, I know you're not getting any of that cash. You want to come play with some kids?
No, you're getting $1 million, man. You're good already. You keep the 2 kids and you get the $1 million. Stop being greedy, man. This is where the issue comes when you get greedy.
It's true. It's true.
So oh man, I got another question here. Sorry, I got to keep going back to this phone. Neal, I'm going to throw this one to you.
Since you're taking a drink.
Yes. I purposely did that. Would you rather be invisible or would you rather be fast?
Invisible sounds way more interesting.
You could probably get in more trouble being invisible, though.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds way more fun. I mean, there's fast people already here. I mean, come on.
No, it can't be it has to be super fast.
Yeah,
okay. He's got to be the flash fast. Yeah, I mean, it does nothing for me. I could be super slow and invisible and still get whatever he's doing done. Just less, and maybe a little slower than him, but still, it's I could be undetected. I like it. I like the idea of being invisible. I think it's cool. I mean, if you're fast, what's the point? Okay, you're gonna get everywhere quick, but say you want to spy on a conversation or something, you're just flying back and forth real fast. You're not hearing the conversation. But if I sit there invisible, I could get there 10 minutes, 20 minutes. It don't matter because I'm just gonna listen to you, invisible. So I don't know. If you're fast, what does it do? I mean, what's the point?
So let me ask you this, Neal. If you were invisible, would you use your invisible powers for good or evil?
For evil, of course. No.
Is there anything
I would take my invisible power, steal $3 million from people who give their kids away for it, and come back to my 3 kids, and I would have $3 million and 3 kids.
I gotta ask though, what good can you do with being invisible? I mean, you could be a spy for your country, right?
A
Like
spy,
that's the kind of thing. But like, what could you do in everyday life that would be good to be invisible? Because I can't think, like, as soon as you talk about being invisible, I think about like all the stuff you thought about when you were in high school or junior high, and you're like, oh, I could go right in the locker room and whatever. But like, that's the kind of stuff I think about right away. Like,
clearly you would have.
I could
Clearly,
take money.
you'd have to be a weapon for the government, right?
Right. You like that's the only good you. And then is that really good?
Yeah,
like,
that's the deeper question. Is that really good?
I'm gonna go no, but
Right.
I mean, I've seen this government act. It's not. It's whatever I'm doing is probably not good either. It just keeps me employed. So like I think it really boils down to like, do you want to be a good dude who can like stop people from getting hit by cars, or like, do you want to be invisible and steal a bunch of money and listen in on everybody when they're not paying attention?
Now, there's a lot of good things you can do invisible, man.
The other thing I gotta ask is like, are your clothes invisible, or do you have to like get naked, get invisible, then walk around?
I think things get interesting, man.
I think
invisible wears off.
I think it's you'd have to be naked to be invisible, right?
Because then you
like,
can't wear
your
shoes.
Your clothes aren't invisible.
Like you can't wear shoes, so like you got to get somewhere with your shoes on, and then take your shoes off.
Mark, how about you? What would you rather, super fast or invisible?
I still want to be invisible. Like,
I think.
I mean, yeah, you're gonna do evil things with it. Like no matter what, you're gonna be doing evil things. But I think you can roll with that because think of the stuff you can get away with. I mean, sneaking into a draft room. Like, okay, you're gonna walk into like see Jerry Jones when he's on the clock, get onto the yacht. Like, Jerry, I know you're gonna make a bad pick here. Can't wait to see it. Get to see it. Like, yeah, you can do stuff like that too. So I'm gonna go with being invisible.
All right, I got one more of these. This one right here, I have no idea which way I want to go. Would you rather be in jail for 10 years or in a coma for 20? And Jason, I'm going to throw that to you first.
Man, I know what happens in jail.
So do I.
Yeah, I know you do. But see, if I'm in coma for 20, I'm 60 when I come out and not 50. That's tough, man. And plus, are your muscles like I've never watched any documentaries on comas, but I can't imagine like your muscles are good enough. It's not like you're waking up from a coma and you're popping up right away and you can walk and get around. I guess I'm gonna take jail and give myself 10 more years. But it's gonna be a rough 10 years.
Mark, how about you?
I'm leaning coma here. Because like it's 20 years, you lose an extra 10, but it probably goes by a little smoother. Let's put it that way. And Mark, so that's a rough 10 years.
How old are you, Mark?
I'm 43. So I'm coming out of this 63.
Yeah.
Like I gotta think that 10 years of jail time is aging you a lot more than like 20 years of muscle atrophy. So I'm gonna take the coma.
Neal, how about you?
I mean, if I took the coma, I would come out and just be like your guy's age right now, right? Just kidding.
That was good.
I'm just kidding.
So anyway, sorry, it took me a minute to get to that, Neal, but I'm sorry, I had to.
It's all good. It's all good. Listen,
So
go ahead, old man.
Hold on, Neal's got to go somewhere again.
Yeah.
Right back. So let me. So I worked in a jail for 8 years. Okay, I'll tell you the real reason why the coma is the correct answer here, because there's no guarantee if you're in jail for 10 years that you're actually coming out of jail. There's just no guarantee. No, there's no guarantee. If you're going to jail for 10 years, there's no guarantee you're getting out. The judge sentences you for 10 years. There's no promise you're getting out after 10 years. Because
I don't think there's a promise you come out of a coma in 20, but like somebody could trip over a plug or your family get tired of paying for you. I mean, so
that's more likely.
I mean, like after a good 5 years, you think your family's going to pay 15 more years of your like taking care of you? Or are they going to like, no, you don't. I know what insurance you have.
I couldn't say what a straight face.
I know where your insurance comes from. That shit doesn't cover 6 months.
No, it doesn't cover 6 days. But no, I from my experience working in a jail, I'm not taking jail. Like I'm the type of person to tell you, I'll tell you right now, if you send me to jail for more than a month, I'm probably not coming out. There's a good chance I will never see the outside of a jail again. I'm just being real. I'm taking the coma every single time.
All right. So Bob's asking the important question, so I'm going
He
to pop
is.
this up.
I just popped it up.
Keep trade cut waffles and ham, pancakes and bacon, French toast and sausage. I mean, whoever wants. I know what I'll do, but I don't want to go first.
I'll take this one first. I'm not a waffle guy, and ham is just okay. So I feel like I can cut the waffles and ham, and I'm not really missing a whole lot there. Like personally, I think between waffles, pancakes, and French toast, waffles is number 3. Between ham, bacon, and sausage, I'm going ham is number 3. So I'm going to cut that and feel like I'm not losing a whole lot of value. What it really comes down to is the bacon versus the sausage, because I like pancakes and I like French toast. I wish I could do bacon and French toast. That would be the clear 101. But with the pancakes and the bacon versus French toast sausage, I'm going to trade the French toast and sausage. I'm going to keep the bacon and pancakes.
You did it wrong, my friend.
Nope, I want the bacon. I'm a bacon guy.
Listen,
I'm with George here. I'm with George. The exact
but
same thing.
Let me tell you this. One, French toast is far and away better than pancakes any day of the week, right? Like French toast crushes the stack of pancakes. But 2, the thing you guys aren't thinking about is sausage is really good, and you're getting a shit ton of value when you trade bacon. And that's why I'm trading pancakes and bacon, because I get the better carb. I still get a good meat, and I'm getting a ton of value back because bacon's worth a lot. Everybody wants the bacon. Look at 2 out of the 4 of us want freaking bacon. So I could get a whole bunch for you guys for trading that away.
You don't trade your studs. You keep your studs.
I'm with this guy. How do I point? If I point up, is it him?
It's opposite. Everybody? It's opposite. So like,
I mean, don't point down for up, but like, left and right opposite.
I'm saying if he's up on my screen, is he up on everyone's screen?
Yes.
Above me. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So I'm going with this guy right here.
That's my boy right down there.
French toast and sausage. Yeah. See down here, French toast and sausage for sure.
Adding the meats makes the question better. It does.
It does, Bob. It makes it a lot better. You did a good job with the pairing there. I wish you would have threw the French toast and the bacon together. That would have been a clear 101.
Way too easy. Yeah. So I've been on this weird like corned beef hash kick. Anybody else eating corned beef hash?
No, I do like that. I've tried making my own. It never comes out right. But yeah, when I go out for breakfast, that's one of the things I miss about like not getting to go out for like a nice breakfast is corned beef hash. Because when it's done right, it's really good.
It really is. And it's just got to have that layer of crispy to it, right?
Yeah.
And when I try and make it at home, I never get anything crispy. It just sits in the pan. It's still mush.
Yeah.
Neal, you liking corned beef hash?
Never had it in my life.
I've had it. Not a huge fan of it.
I mean, you remember this guy eats chicken nuggets, and that's about it.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I go to a restaurant, I'm doing the same thing every single time. I'm not mixing it up. I'm not changing it up. This is what I like, and this is where I'm staying at. So that's what it is, man.
You can respect that. Neal knows his lane. He's going to stay in that lane. This way, he never disappointed. Like, that's a solid option.
Exactly, because I go out with people and they're always like, "Oh, this sucked. Oh, this wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be." I'm like, "Oh, it worked for me. It was fine, like always." So I'd rather not be disappointed.
So Bob and I are on the same wavelength tonight because that's what I'm talking about. That is how when you spin the wheel you get a heart attack. But that's exactly just a little bit of hot sauce on that too makes it way better.
Is that what you were making earlier, Jason?
Yeah. Yep.
I thought so. Yeah, I was not impressed.
I made breakfast. Well, I mean, listen, you didn't have any.
Didn't need to.
I mean, I made sausage, I made eggs, I made biscuits. Like I cooked pretty good this morning. I had the day off for once, and I made the most of it and made some real breakfast.
Yeah, so I had to go over to Jason's house earlier to get a laptop from him,
so he could do the show.
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't bring a laptop home to do this show that he knew he had to do on Friday nights.
Yes. So I had Jay. Why should I bring it home?
out.
I can just have Jason grab it. So, but yeah, I had to go with Jason's. We both took today off. Originally, we were going to be doing our Toys for Tot shopping tomorrow, but the Target doesn't do their huge discount until Sunday. So now we're doing our Toys for Tot shopping Sunday. Super looking forward to that. We raised. What did we raise, Jason? I think it's like 11,300.
Oh no!
Yeah, we were like 11,300 for Toys for Tots this year. We sent some money out to friends already to shop. So we will have like $7,200 to spend on Sunday, and then we're taking advantage of 3 Target deals where one is 10% off any gift card up to $500, so we can get $50 off every gift card we buy. And then there's a $25 off every $100 you spend on toys. And then the third one is 10% off your whole shop. So like we're going to combine all that and get a whole bunch of extra toys. And we already have like 4 bikes and 5 tricycles. And so this weekend is like the big weekend for us. Neal, you went with us.
A couple of years. Neal started it with us.
Yeah. So it's my favorite. Like, and it's even taken over Christmas for me. Like this is literally my favorite day of the year every year. Is doing this now, and Sunday's the day.
Bob wants to know if the shirts are ready, Jason.
So Bob, my wife's shirt, the women's shirts are ready. The men's shirts will be done as soon as I get done with this show. I was finishing them up. I was finishing up the stuff for him. And Bob, I need your size because I am going to be sending you a shirt for giving us this really cool logo that I'm going to take my camera off. And this logo right here, which is kind of small, Bob made that for us. And it's very cool. So I do have to send, hey, he made it big for me. I do have to send Bob a shirt for doing that. It was much appreciated. We needed something new and Bob came through for us and it's very cool.
Shout out to Bob.
Yeah.
Bob, if you guys don't follow Bob on Twitter, he's a pretty good follow. He's giving me Twitter etiquette on how to properly do these tweets. Apparently I've passed his course for adding links and times and all that, and now apparently I have to add graphics, which I didn't know was a thing. So Bob's going to school me up on how to do graphics as well. So, but anyway, let's go ahead and wrap this show up. I said it would be an hour. It's a little after 10 now. We started a few minutes late, but that's okay. It was Neal's fault. I'm sorry, Neal. It was your fault. I sent you the link. All you did was click the link.
Listen, I figured I tried to time it exactly right where I would miss the 10-minute long intro. And so I tried to play it just right, and apparently you waited until I got here to do it. So,
well, we didn't want to start the show without you. I figured that'd be rude. So Neal, go ahead, tell everybody where they can follow you, where they can help support you, look at the content that you're putting out and all that.
Yeah, they can follow me at Clock Dodgers, like right. I'm trying to get this arrow thing right. Yeah, over here. The whole time I've had it as Neal Maligno, while every single one of you had an @ symbol in your tag. I'm like, okay, I didn't get invited to the party, so I changed it mid-show. So follow at Clock Dodgers. The podcast, just go to any podcast app, type in Clock Dodgers, hit subscribe, and you'll find it there. And that's pretty much it. Just follow, and that's it.
And Mark, I know we got your Twitter out here, but tell everybody where else they could follow
Bird
you,
app, as you can see, Bird app at Mark Schofield, USA Today, a couple different SB Nation websites, but yeah, the Bird app, as you can see right there. You'll get lots of Scrubs gifts and all that fun stuff.
Mark, I do have to ask one question because you changed your Twitter bio from the last time we had you on.
This is true.
And it now says probably playing Stardew Valley.
This is true.
I can't go without the show without asking what exactly is Stardew Valley. Like I know it's a game app.
It's a farming simulator, but if you look at my Twitter profile, you see that little picture. It looks like somebody standing between 2 candy canes. Like that's a scene from Stardew Valley. Like you like inherit this farm from your grandfather in like this like small little town, and you could do like all sorts of random things. So like I will just like sit there and like fish for hours, and it's just like mindless. But I love it. So if I'm not playing that, I'm playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So yeah. Earlier I had one of my little house with jack-o'-lanterns next to me for Halloween. Now you've got one for the holidays. So yeah, playing Stardew Valley usually, as I will be in probably 5 minutes.
I just had to ask about that.
Yeah.
After all, you do like the yard work.
Yeah, I do. So I get to like do it virtually too, Neal. It's great.
I think doing it virtually is a lot better than actually having to go outside and do it.
Yeah. Plus, I don't have to stress the heart too much because I don't want to lose that L. I don't want to lose that game.
All right. Again, I want to thank both of you guys for coming on. I hope you had a good time. As promised, we tried to go through with very little fantasy football content. Just I know that's what you guys put out predominantly, so I figured this show is more of a break from that. Just kind of a break from all the stressors of start sits, trades. Even though we're getting close to the end of the year, people are still asking about that. So truly appreciate both of you guys coming on. Jason, as always, appreciate you. Mike, thank you for doing everything you've done for us behind the scenes. And until next week, I appreciate everybody. Hope you have a fantastic weekend. And let's get the heck out of here.
Appreciate it.